Okay, so let's look at getting a development environment set up for doing C++ 14 programming and development using Eclipse. So here in our class, we'll have the link for the MSys2 installer page. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course you could just find the URLs right here. So I am running Windows 64-bit, just like we did in class, and so we're going to come here, and I'm going to grab the 64-bit version of this. I could click on it now. I've actually already downloaded it, so we're not going to waste video time on that, but I did want to show you this is the one here with 64 that we do want to install. Once we have that, the other things that we're going to need are going to be, we're going to need the Java download page, okay, and so we can go right here. Here's that URL, and as we talked about in class, mainly what you need for running this, if you're not doing Java development itself, then you just need the JRE. So you'll go to JRE right here. Make sure to accept the license agreement, and then you'll just scroll down and you'll grab this file right here. The exe file will be the easiest for you to run and so forth. Okay, finally, the other download you're going to need is going to be the Eclipse download page. And so you come on down into here. Notice we want the Eclipse IDE for C/C++ developers. Okay, and we want the 64-bit version. So you're going to click that. You can just go with the mirror that it selects, or select your own mirror, and then again click download. Okay, as I said, I've already downloaded these things. So if I go to my downloads folder here, you'll actually see those. The other thing I've downloaded already is 7-zip, just like we talked about in class, because the Windows zip extractor is kind of slow. So you probably want to have that installed. All right, so there's my programs. They're already downloaded. Let's go through the install. We do want the default location. We'll, yes, create the appropriate menu shortcuts and let it do its thing. Okay, so through the magic of video editing, we're now finished with the install. I'm going to leave that where it says run the MSys2 64-bit now, because we are going to want that, and I'll click finish. And so that'll open up this window here. I'm going to go ahead and make that font a little bit bigger, just so that it's easier to see. And there it is. All right, so we have I have this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back over to the MSys2 installer web page here, which gives us some of the basic guidelines for the stuff that we need to do. So the first command we want is this right here. I'm just going to right click and select copy. To paste this into the MSys window, what you want to do is use your middle mouse button. Okay, so that'll paste that right in there, and then we can run that command. Yes, I do want to proceed with installation. You notice the Y is capitalized, so I can just hit enter. All right, and after a very short time, it does that upgrade. Okay, so now what you want to do is you actually want to close this MSys window here. So I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to rerun the MSys2 window. So I'm just going to come down here, and we'll go, there's MSys2 and I want the MSys2 shell. Okay, so there's that, and then we're going to run the next command. Okay, so we'll run our pacman SYU. Paste that in there. And again, hit enter to let it do its default things. And again, it basically runs that. I'm not quite sure if you can make that out, but notice it does run fairly quickly. It says, but you do want to actually close your terminal window. So I'm going to actually click the exit button. It will give me a warning. That's okay. Right, and we just click OK. That's fine. And now we're going to run it one more time to finish up upgrading and getting all of that taken care of. Okay, so there's the copy for that, and I'm going to paste that in and run it again. Okay, and this time it says it's got about 27 things to do, so depending on how fast your internet connection is, that's how fast that'll get installed. You can see mine's going along pretty quickly, so I think this will actually be done fairly soon. Okay, so once again, through the magic of video editing, all of that stuff has in fact installed. So now we just need to install the C compiler and some of the other tools that we're going to be using. Okay, so once again, I'm going to close the MSys2 window. Turns out actually it opened up this other little shell that started it, so I'll close that one as well. All right, so then I'm going to come back over here. This time, when I go to MSys2 64-bit, I'm not going to actually select the MSys2 shell. I'm going to go for this one, okay, the MinGW, and I want the 64 version because, again, we're doing all 64-bit here, and so I'll select that one. All right, so now I have that option, and in terms of installing the software, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to our web page here, and I'm going to copy this stuff here. Okay, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll make sure to put this command in the show notes. So I've copied that. Let me come back over here. I'm going to paste that in and go ahead and hit enter, and then it should install those things for us. All right, so I spared you the having to watch all that stuff install. It's about as interesting as watching paint dry. But anyways, once it is installed, I can verify that I have what I need by the following command. So I'm just going to in here, I'll type G++ and tac and version. Okay, so that'll hopefully run the G++ command, tell me which version is installed, right? And there it is, right? So I see that yes, we have G++ installed. There's the version, basically the latest version as of this video. So I should be good to go for that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and close this window here. Again, I'll close that little extra window that started up, and now we can get into installing Java. Okay, so I'm just going to come back over to my downloads. Here's my little JRE installer, and I'll go ahead and run that. And basically, we're just going to pick we're going to go with the defaults here. So I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time showing you this installer running. It's pretty brain dead to be able to run this. So you'll see. Okay, so as I said, I'm just going to accept all the defaults here. So we'll go install there. You'll notice it just goes ahead and does its thing. Okay, so once that's installed, you should see something like this, that we've successfully installed Java. So I'll go ahead and click close for that. All right, now in terms of Eclipse itself, actually you'll see I just downloaded the zip file. There is actually an installer now for Eclipse that apparently is kind of new. I haven't tried it. I've always kind of just done it this way. Again, as I said, I strongly recommend you use 7-zip for this part because the Windows unzip or zip extractor is slow, so it will take a lot longer otherwise. So all I'm going to do, I've already installed 7-zip. I'm just going to right click here, and I can go to 7-zip, and I'll select Open Archive. Right, so there's the Eclipse folder, and you can put that, wherever you want. And in my case here, for this example, I'm just going to dump this on the desktop, and so this should actually take not very long at all. Again, if you're going to use the Windows extractor, it's going to take a while. Okay, so theoretically, this should work now. What we did see in the lab tonight is a few people did have some issues with this, and there is a bit of a fix to kind of make that better. So even before running Eclipse, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to come over here and search for environ, and that should give me the option for edit the system environment variables, okay, right there. Not the account ones, I want the system ones. Okay, so I'm going to click on that and enter in my my password for my admin user there. Okay, so we'll go into environment variables. All right, and so down here under the area labeled system variables, I'm going to click new because I want to create a new variable, and the variable that I'm going to create is MinGW_home. And generally you want this all in uppercase. Now, what value is it going to have? Well, basically what it is I'm going to go to computer here, and I'm going to go to my C drive where stuff was installed, right? There's good old MSys2 where we installed it. And then I'm going to go into the MinGW-w64 folder that's in there. Okay, and now I have the right path. So if I click up here, right, you'll notice it's nice and highlighted and condensed. I'm just going to right click and click copy. Okay, now I can go back over to my window here, and I can just right click and paste that in. Okay, so now the computer will actually know exactly where MinGW lives on this system, and that should largely kind of get over any of the issues. That did fix it for the people that were having that problem in class. Okay, so I've clicked OK. I'll click OK again. Okay, so now let's go ahead and run Eclipse. Just double click on that. Eclipse Mars.2, that's the latest version of Eclipse. You'll notice it pops up, it gives me the default location for the workspace, so I'll just go ahead and accept that. And so the first time you run it, you will get this message. Generally where we want to be is we want to be at Workbench here, so I'm just going to click on Workbench. And that gives us our default view. Okay, so let's take a look at creating a new C++ project, as well as and make sure to set it so that we're using C++ 14, as well as what we need to do to get the console running and so forth. Okay, so I'm just going to come to File, we'll go to New, and we'll select C++ project. And if everything's all set properly, right, we should see you should see MinGW GCC here. Okay, so that's the one we're going to select. I'll give it a name. I'll just call it Hello. And then at that point, right, again, make sure Hello World C++ and MinGW GCC are selected. I click Finish. And there it is. It generated my basic or my little shell for creating a Hello World C++ project. Okay. Now, like we talked about in class, since we are going to want to use C++ 14, I'm going to come all the way down here to Properties, and I'm going to go to Build, and I'm going to go to Settings. And we want to go to dialect, okay, right here under the C++ compiler. Now, as I mentioned before, you'll notice that that the C++ 14 isn't technically one of the options, but it is in fact supported by what we have, so we're just going to put that in right here. Notice -std equals C++ 14. Okay, so that sets it up so that we can be doing C++ 14 using all the latest features. Okay. Now, recall the first time you create your project and so forth, what you want to do is you're going to click on the Build button to actually have it compiled. And as we saw, if the first time we try to run this, in fact, it actually is likely not going to work, right? So this should, in fact, have switched over to console and shown us Hello World. It doesn't do that. As we said, turns out there's a bug in Eclipse in the 64-bit version. Okay, so all we got to do to fix that, I'm going to come right here and go to Run Configurations, and then we go to Environment. And we're going to add a new variable, path. Now, the value that we want for this, we're going to go back and grab a Explorer window, and we're going to go to MSys2, and we're going to go to MinGW-w64, and then we're going to go to the bin folder. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab that, copy, paste it in. Click OK. I'll apply that. I'll also click Close. Now when I click Run, I should see, yep, there it is, Hello World. Okay, so everything is all set up and we're good to go.